Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Razor. Before we start here, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this is gonna be a long video. It's gonna be about 45 plus minutes, so keep that in mind. This is the first instance dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV. It's Sastasha. It's located in western Lanasi, north of Alaport. I'm gonna be guiding you through this whole dungeon. The first set of mobs, as you can see in front of me, are bats. A group of 2 bats. They're relatively easy, nothing to note here. But what is a dungeon? If you're new to MMOs, I bet you're wondering what a dungeon is. Well, a dungeon is an instance-based area with DPS, 2 DPS, a tank, and a healer. That's a light party, known as a light party. Obviously, the tank's going to be the one drawing all the enemies and taking all the damage and all that. The healer's going to be healing, obviously. And obviously, the DPS is going to be attacking. You're going to be running through a set of mobs. The mobs get harder as you go, obviously, and eventually you're going to fight bosses. There's usually 3 to 4 bosses per dungeon. Here's some more bats here. Another set of 2 bats. Make sure if you're a DPS, obviously don't aggro enemies, don't attack enemies unless the tank attacks first. If you're new to the game, you might not know that. Don't just run ahead. Unless you're the tank, obviously, and then you can do whatever you want. Whatever you see fit to do. Because if you do that, you end up getting the party killed, so just basically follow the tank. And over here you can examine this memo. And then you continue back off to the left here. There are obviously going to be more mobs later. Different enemies as well. Like up here ahead, we're going to fight some jellyfish. Jellyfish-like enemies. Nothing to note about these guys either. Yeah, there's really not much to really say. Yeah, this dungeon I'm going to put the whole thing in. I'm going to put the whole entire dungeon in. I'm not going to cut anything. But in future dungeons I will be editing. The reason I want to show the whole dungeon this time is because this is the first dungeon I'm going to be uploading. So I want to keep the whole thing in. So you know what you're getting into before you go in here, because it does take a long time to do these dungeons. It is very time consuming. Usually between 30 to 45 minutes. This particular dungeon took us 45 minutes, but you'll see later that we were messing around and at a certain point. So, but you're given 90 minutes at the start of this, so that's more than enough time. It'll never take you an hour and 30 minutes to do this, so don't worry about the time. For an experienced party, you should be able to finish this in about 30 minutes. So So it's mostly linear path, just basically a straightforward path. Fight some crabs here in this mob. As you expect from crabs, they got pretty good defense. Nothing to note though. Yeah, I'm using the Arcanist, and my DPS is alright. It's not too great. I bet the other people in our party is doing a lot more damage than me. Yeah, I was following that dude. That's one of our DPS guys. I was following him around because I didn't know what he was doing, so I was just seeing what he was doing. He was going to get that treasure coffer. There are treasure coffers in this area that you can get treasure out of. Now these shade things, they're relatively weak. They die in like a few hits, but they do explode, and they cast fire at you. As you can see, they're just spamming fireballs at the party. They can really gang up on people, but they die so quickly. They die in like 2 hits. And their damage ain't that great anyway, so they're not nothing to speak about. They're the easiest enemies in here. And it's kind of weird seeing like a fire type enemy, like what seems like a water cavern or something like that. So that's kind of weird. But yeah, these guys are easy. These things are easy. That don't mean just go around and go pull at all the enemies. Don't go and pull all of them, man. Don't do that. Until it can't do what it's gotta do. Hey, you're just gonna be running the same mobs for now. But eventually we're gonna get the bosses and new mobs and stuff, so. There's about 5 stages to this dungeon too. We're almost at the first boss. So the first boss is one of them core things, core or whatever they're called. I'm not sure how to pronounce them. Coeurl, something like that. Core, something, I don't know. They're common Final Fantasy enemies. You know the enemies that have the move Blaster in the other Final Fantasy games? Blaster usually either petrifies or kills an ally instantly. In the other Final Fantasies. Yeah, one of them things. What you have to fight first. But he don't use blaster, I don't think. At least he didn't on us. Yeah, I'm actually tanking this enemy right here. He's actually killing me too. But the tank's over there handling his business, so. And the healer kept me healed up, so I was alright. Yeah, sometimes that happens like that. But yeah, I think dungeons are the most funnest part of MMO. So well worth the experience. Later you'll see that you can get some good loot from them. Use some good teamwork, killing enemies and stuff. It's pretty fun. Well worth doing. At least do each of the dungeons at least once each, I would say. I'll be showing off as many of them as I possibly can. How many I'll get done before the end of the month, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll probably be cutting the video at random intervals, but you won't notice anything. It'll be instant. But activate them two quarrels, the red and the blue ones on the sides over there, and this will lead to where the boss is at. You activate that switch, and the boss will show up. Yeah, this is the coral thing. Nothing too special about them, just more HP and that's about it. More HP than the mobs. But he's the first boss of this place. Chopper. Like, get to the chopper? No, I'm not gonna say that. Ooh. Yeah, he's almost down here. As you can see, he's not that hard. And after you beat him, it opens up. You activate the switch and it opens that. And you can go into deeper part of the dungeon. Well, we'll be fighting some new mobs. There's the new like. And you got some balls here too. Yeah, this is post-commentary, so I can't really tell what the enemies' names are, so I have to... So sorry for that, but they're like pirates and it's the scurvy dogs. I know that scurvy dogs and the names of the dogs. That one's a pirate. The pirates are probably the hardest of them all, are the mobs here. Later, there's some Sagan mobs, and you'll see them later on in the dungeon. There's where we're gonna fight one of the captains. So yeah, two pirates and then the captain. And as you fight this guy, he's gonna call in scurvy dogs later. So keep that in mind. Kill the ads first, the pirates first, and then focus on the captain. Let the tank obviously tank the captain. And the DPS people should take care of the pirates. The two pirate ads. Yeah, this is actually it's the longest video on my channel, so yeah. It's gonna be 45 minutes probably around there. Probably gonna take forever to upload, I imagine. But it don't matter. Yeah, and after he dwindles down his HP a lot, he'll run. And there goes Carbuncle trying to chase him, so I have to use heal and send Carbuncle back to me. Carbuncle was trying to chase him. But yeah, he runs off and you have to counter him later. But that opens up the loot after you fight him. Actually, after you fight Chopper, Chopper's gonna open up the loot first. But anyway, loot in a dungeon it's mostly the bosses you fight will have different sets of loot that they drop, and you can either greed on it or need on it, depending on your class. So let's say it's for Disciple of Magic, then like Arcanist and Black Mage, and they can need for it. If it's a Disciple of War, then if it's a Disciple of War armor or whatever, then Disciples of Wars can like warriors or paladins or whatever, they can need on it. So it's gonna be random what they drop. Each of the bosses have their own set of loot. So you can run through the dungeons multiple times and you'll get different loot each time. So sometimes you won't get the loot you need and you have to do it again. That's how dungeons work. I remember when I used to play World of Warcraft and I would pretty much never get what I needed. I had to run through dungeons several times to get what I wanted. Sometimes I'd get nothing out of dungeons except for experience, right? But most of the time the greed and need thing's pretty fair. Like, if someone greeds on something one time and they win, the next time they'll usually get a lower roll or whatever. So that's usually pretty fair. But yeah, the loot thing's on the bottom right corner down there. I didn't click it yet. Yeah, the tank got a little turned around there. As you can see here in a minute, look at here, who pulled two guys that weren't supposed to be pulled. That one DPS guy went and got a treasure coffer over there, and he ended up pulling two more pirates. So now we're forced to use our limit break. There's the limit break right there. Good amount of damage to all surrounding enemies, so it's kind of nice. We'll get it back later on though, it refills after a while. I believe it's based off the enemies you kill or something like that. Or how much damage you take. I guess that's how it works. Yeah, I'm used to these whole dungeon runs, but I played WoW and it back in 2010. And another free-to-play in those. So I probably played pretty much every free-to-play MMO. I've at least tried every one of them, I think. Just about. Except for Terra Rising. I think it's the only one I haven't tried yet. And Firefall, I haven't tried it either. But yeah, we're almost about halfway there, but we take a little detour in a minute here. And we didn't need to do this. Yeah, sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. I meant to bring up the map, but I hit the wrong key. Yeah, more of the standard mob, or more of the standard pirate mob. That's pretty much the mobs you're gonna be facing throughout the rest of the dungeon. Until the last boss. The last boss has got different mobs. The last boss is, I believe, a Sahagin. If you played their Final Fantasy, you should know what Sahagins are. They're common Final Fantasy enemies. They're aquatic, like, enemies. Anyway, we got the key. Now we can go into the fight the boss here. Basically, we had to get the captain's quarter key and then so we can unlock that door, which opens up the boss. Should take long to kill him. Yep. Pretty easy. Now the last stage of the dungeon, pretty much. But I believe this is where we take the detour, I think. Or the... Yeah, we're at almost a 25-minute marker, so, yeah, about 20 more minutes to this dungeon. So let's have a rundown of the enemies so far. We fought the shade things that fire, spam fire balls. We fought the bats, the pirates that we're fighting now, and the crabs, and the jellyfish-like enemies. Yeah, there's a treasure coffer up there. I'm gonna go ahead and take the time to look at this loot. There's a piece of loot if you want to look at it. I'm just gonna pass on that. That's for the Cypher Award. I could have done that a lot earlier, but I didn't see it on the screen until just then. I believe it's after you fight Chopper. I think I could be wrong though. Hit the wrong button again. There we go, there's the map. Alright, so I don't know what's going on here. This is what the detour I was talking about. They were fighting each other, and yeah, these Reaver guys were fighting each other. I'm not sure what's going on. If anybody knows in the comment section, put why they were fighting each other, because I was kind of confused. And it looks like my party members were too. Because we're just hanging around here, just sitting, waiting. As you can see, the tank's not doing anything, he's just standing there. So I'm just going to be standing here too, watching them fight each other. I don't know what's going on. And if anybody knows, please put in the comment section why. Is this like some sort of bug or something, or is this supposed to happen, or I don't know. But let's go ahead. The tank started to fight them, so let's go ahead and kill them now. I guess since they were fighting each other, I guess they wanted to die, so we'll be happy to oblige. Yeah, they get heals too. As you can see, their health's going up, they're getting healed. So we'll still be able to kill them. Their heals is not as good as our heals. Yeah, sometimes, that's the thing about dungeons, you never know who you're going to team up with, so you might sometimes get players who don't have as much experience as other people. And like I remember in WoW, when I first started, I was like really bad. I messed up so many times in these dungeons. It's easy to mess up something. So if you're new, don't worry about. Everybody's gonna mess up. So don't let people bash you for it. I remember one time I can't remember what dungeon it was in WoW, but the one where you're fighting them, the goblins, the area is called Goblin something, I thought. But I actually used the shaman's, thunder move and, like, knocked them off the edge. And they respawned behind us. I guess it was some sort of bug or something. They respawned behind us and killed us all. So it was my fault we all got wiped. And let's just say I got a lot of hate for that. But I didn't know that that was gonna happen. But yeah. Sometimes you accidentally pull an enemy you don't want to pull. That's why I never tab target. And I mean, you can tab target in dungeons, but I don't recommend it. And I also don't recommend auto running either. because you can accidentally forget to stop and then go right in the middle of a mob and die. So yeah, no auto run. Here's some of my equipment if you want to look at it real quick while we're waiting. But yeah, don't auto run, don't tab target. Unless you have to. If you need to tab target, go ahead. If it's easier for you, go ahead. But you might accidentally target an enemy that's not already pulled by the tank. So especially if you're a ranged class, you might accidentally pull an enemy off to the side. You want to come over here to the left, and there's enemies off to the left over there, so we're going to pull these enemies first, I guess. But yeah, this ain't the most efficient party. I did this one time before I uploaded this. Did a dungeon run of this. We beat it in about, I'd say roughly about 35 minutes or something. So we were very inefficient this time. Looks like Carbunk will aggro this thing. Yeah, I finally realized he's getting weak, and I used that one to heal him up. Yeah, I noticed the healer ain't gonna worry about your pets. If they'll heal you, but they'll pretty much never heal your pet. So I noticed that in the 2 times I've done this dungeon. Yeah, and if you're getting where you're almost dying or whatever, if you're DPS and you're almost dying or whatever, and you're not getting any heals, don't panic, because the healer's going to get to you eventually. But the primary focus is on the tank, obviously. Oh, and this was the boss that had the where he summoned the pack jackal or the dog, and he ran off again. My bad. But yeah, he ran off again and summoned them jackals or them dogs before he left, before he ran. Yeah, another Disciple of War item. That's another piece of loot right there. After fighting that boss. Alright, now right here, alright, never mind. This ain't the part yet. Never mind. Yeah, that's more of the same mobs and all that. Yeah, the best thing to do if you're using an Arcanist, like I am, is to target in between the enemies, like use miasma and bio on an enemy and then switch to another enemy. Use miasma and bio on them, and then just keep cycling through. That way you have miasma and bio on multiple enemies. Because your goal as the Arcanist is damage over time. And I'll be going in an in-depth video about the Arcanist as soon as I make the video. I don't know when it'll be, but it'll be soon enough. And I'll tell you everything you need to know about the Arcanist. Yeah, I found out that they don't have that many summons in this game like you had in Final Fantasy XI. Oh, I did play Final Fantasy XI as well. So I believe that was back in 2011, or it might have been 2010 as well. Around 2009 when I really started getting into MMOs. I was playing free to play MMOs back then in 2009. So. But before that, I was mostly a console gamer and all that. But the reason I'm making videos about this game and not the other Final Fantasies is because, or the other Final Fantasy MMOs, because I didn't really like 11 all that much, to be honest. I had my own link, me and my friends in the game had our own link shell and all that. That was pretty cool, though. The game's a lot funner when you know people. Because you can find friends in this game and join a free company and all that. And it's a really fun game. That goes for all MMOs as well. Yeah, we're about to be at the final boss in a little bit here. The saw again I was talking about. Yeah, I leveled up there. Reached level 20. Yeah, and speaking of that, now something I should tell you guys is this dungeon is from 15 to, I believe, 18 or 17. Now, if you're below 15, you will not be able to join this dungeon. And if you are above, I think, 17 or 18, you'll be synced down to 17 or 18. So keep that in mind. So let's say you enter like level 25, you'll be like level 17 or 18. So I think I was synced down to 18 in this. So yeah. We were waiting on the tank there. He was taking a while. But yeah, you're given cutscenes in dungeons as well in this game. I'm gonna skip them, but you can watch them if you want to. Some people don't like you to watch them though, because they have to wait on you in order to watch the cutscene and all that. So if it's like a long cutscene, but I'm sure you can ask the people you are in the party with. And this is the final boss, by the way. But if you want to watch the cutscenes, just ask the people in your party. I'm pretty sure they'll say it's alright. And this boss is going to get some ads in a little bit. It's recommended that the DPS players, they go right to the ads. As soon as the ads show up, go right after the ads. your healer will thank you, because they'll more than likely go after your healer. But yeah, here they are right here. So make sure you target them down and kill them. So, we fought through some bats, bat mob, we fought through some crab mob, jellyfish like enemy mob, then fire shade mobs, and pirate mobs, and these Sagan lizardmen mobs. So, or Sagan mobs. And then we got the bosses, the chopper, the pirate captains, and finally this Sagan boss. That's pretty much, I think I pretty much covered everything you need to know about this Sastasha. And like I said earlier, I won't be showing everything in every dungeon in the future. I'll be cutting out a lot of stuff. Since I wanted to be as informative as possible in this video as I can. I wanted to explain what dungeons were, what dungeons are, and all that stuff, and pretty much everything a new player needs to know about these dungeons, because I remember when I was new once, I wasn't very good at them. I didn't watch gameplay videos to see, but that's the end of the boss. But yeah, he's down. Go ahead and skip the cutscene. But yeah, I just want to be informative for new players. Obviously, you pro players are going to know all this stuff and probably won't even need to watch this guide. But yeah, after you beat the dungeon, you can pick a most dedicated player out of the dungeon. I went ahead and picked a tank for this one. Even though it probably would have been best for me to pick the healer, because the healer was probably the best. So take your own judgment into account when you do that. When you pick the most dedicated. Don't just pick the tank because, oh, he did everything. Because no, everybody put their own effort into it. I should have picked the healer, and I wasn't thinking right. But anyway, after you beat him, you get to need or greed the loot and all that. If the loot looks good, greed it. If it don't look good, if you're a disciple of magic and it's for war, just pass on it. If it's a disciple of magic and you're a magic, then obviously greed it. But I want to thank you guys for watching. This has been Sastasha, the first dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Later.